Hey guys, welcome to another video from Historic Militaria. Today we are going to be looking at a true broomhandle mystery. This gun is, well, it's really kind of an odd one. It is a standard wartime commercial gun, so it's in the 314,000 serial number range, which puts it right smack in the range of World War I guns. And it is standard in pretty much every way. You've got your standard grips, you've got standard 10-round magazine, you've even got a German Imperial acceptance mark right here. So this was a military approved gun. But you actually have inlaid in the side here this plaque, which is marked KM 346 U25. Now, a logical reading of this for the KM would be Kaiserliche Marine, which was the German World War I Navy. Gun 346 and U25 would be U-boat number 25. And for what it's worth, U-25 did in fact survive the war and was broken up, I believe, at Scapa Flow in 1919 or 1920. Is this the gun from the U-25? Well, I don't know. I do find it very interesting that it actually has that, and it is a very logical conclusion because there aren't a lot of other conclusions of what that might mean. The other interesting thing is that this is not just a standard sized milling pattern here. This is actually a larger milled area that was done. And just for reference, we'll take a look at another broomhandle from right around the same time period. As you can see, that's what would be there, and that's what's here on this one. So this had some pretty extensive and very professional milling done to fit that plaque that is actually put there. And as you can see, this is a little bit different as well. So the milling pattern's a little bit different. And if you turn this gun over, you can really see how the milling pattern is different here. You've got a pretty large area here, and you're looking at a standard broom handle, which would be milled like that, versus this one, which obviously, let's just be honest, this was milled at the factory like this. This wasn't an after the fact, someone decided to get rid of this part right here. So this gun started out life as something a little bit unusual at the Mauser factory. It also has this right here, which is a strike through of something. Unfortunately, it is no longer legible, but that has been purposely struck out. The gun itself has been re-blued, like an arsenal level refinish, probably from the 1930s, because it does look like a very black, probably a salt blue, and it is pretty typical of a lot of guns that you'll see redone in the 1930s, and really what Mauser was cranking out in the 1930s. But the interesting thing is, not the entire gun was redone, because it is still shiny at the crown, so it's not like the gun was just dipped and done. It was done professionally. It's got your standard crown U, but it has no serial number, where you usually have a serial number right there. The gun is serialized elsewhere in standard fashion. It is in the 314,000 serial number range, like I said. So you've got your serial right there. You've got it right there. And then at some point, the hammer actually had the serial taken off, but the serial is repeated on the bolt stop. So what exactly is this gun? I don't know. I would love to know. I personally do believe it is from the U-25. I have no reason to doubt that it could have been a gun that was issued to a submarine. there's really no reason why they wouldn't have. I know the German World War I Navy did use some broom handles. The Weimar Navy used them, and so did the Nazi Navy. So it's not unusual for a broom handle to be in naval service. The other thing that it may be is the KM may stand for the Dutch Navy, but there's really no record of the Dutch using broom handles to the extent that they would actually do this. But I know the Dutch really were big on brass plaques. You'll see brass plaques affixed to their Lugers and some of their other guns. So this is kind of in a Dutch way, but also the Germans would do things like this for identification. So it's one of those mysteries, and I'm not advocating either way. I would love to hear some opinions that aren't just, oh, somebody did that in their basement, because they didn't. And maybe some reasoning of what else it could be, or why it is a U-boat gun, or why it's not, or really any well thought out argument would be very interesting to me. I will tell you, this gun actually did come out of New Zealand. I do know that much in its history. And it was actually never sold as a broom handle from a U-boat. So no premiums were charged on it. I know that. Beyond that, I really don't know much about it in terms of where it was before about the 1970s. And again, that's just some oral history that I know. You've got your standard grips. You've got everything else standard except for the milling being very different. This is actually akin to the kind of milling that you would see on a cone hammer, but obviously this is not from a cone hammer era. So just a very different broom handle, and really just one kind of deserving of an explanation. And I think I'm hoping at least that maybe someone in the community could have some thoughts on it or something like that. But just wanted to share it with you guys. And if you enjoy seeing interesting guns like this, like and subscribe. And we'll be doing more videos on broom handles and other guns and helmets and militaria and you name it. Thanks for watching.